It's just us now, Iggy. You can put that down. Right, like that.
With a nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole.
This isn't gonna turn out well. Wow.
With a growl, Kerr leapt at Iggy, crashing through Luca. Iggy tried to twist
Well, that
away,
wasn't done very
but
well.
in the struggle, they both tumbled over the side. Luca dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped. His grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow. He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
You reckless child, what have you done? Luca, listen to me. Hold on tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back. What channel do I use? Does it make a darn difference? They're always listening. If you do that, the clipboards will tell us up and snag us both. The only way to get out of this is if Kerr is out of the picture. Just let go and save yourself. If he lets go, we both die. I don't want to die, but seeing the look on your face almost makes it worth it. Mr. Kerr, you've had a long life. Why don't you actually do something selfless and just let go?
Mr. Kerr gasped with insult.
Long life? I'll have you know I can still play 25. You should have heard me sing the part of Phileas Young.
With a wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody.
Dum dum dum. Hey, dum dum. Can you believe this guy?
Luca's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack.
Kerr, just let go. No can do. You want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too. Luca, look at me. It's okay.
Luca felt Iggy loosen his grasp.
You aren't going to kill your friend like that, are you?
Every muscle in Luca's body burned.
I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. Nah, I'm just a no-good bully. Like you, Kerr. Yeah, you're right. I hate you after all.
Luca felt his hand slipping.
And I told you what you need to do with bullies. I can't. And it's the only way out of this mess. Two birds with one stone. It makes sense for us to fall together. All I can do is travel in packs.
Calm settled over Iggy's face.
Luca, let me do this.
Iggy's voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
Let me do the right thing for once. Well, let's start with the first one.
Luca had no choice but to refuse Iggy's request. He tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket. A wild delight crept onto Mr. Kerr's face. That's a good lad. Now, radio for help. Iggy begged Luca with his eyes one last time, but Luca pressed the button and called out. We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger. It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards. Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration. There you are. You really are a worthless lot, aren't you? Mirror, now. A clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair. Ah, that's better.
Okay.
Mr. Van Horn, I applaud your sharp thinking under duress. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder. Take them away. A swarm of hands overpowered Luca. The last thing he saw before a cloth bag was pulled over his head was the defeated look on Iggy's face. The end. I think this was one of those times where doing the right thing was the wrong thing.
Alright, now we do the fun one.
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request.
Drop him.
With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Good. Long live the king.
The two silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
Ooh, ah. Have a goodbye, Iggy. Luca, you should really step back. Right? Quickly. Curious. Ah, but of course. Those fireworks of Iggy have been just the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town. For a little while, anyway. How? Tempest liquimine is a peculiar substance. It can change the relationship between matter and time itself. But doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from the source, from its surroundings. A useful side project of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amounts of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk just makes things cold and the fireworks made the whole freeze over? That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what would happen if in that case.
We have some idea what that would look like.
I will take a good look while it will take a good... wow, I cannot read right now. It will take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. If you know all this stuff, why haven't you been helping? I have been, in my way. Each of us has a role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You. Me? Why me? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Horn, you are going to save the world. He's the cheerleader?
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow. Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder.
What?
Revenge served cold. Second time's a charm? Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy cliffhanger just when it was getting good? I was even starting to like Iggy. No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels. Let's go back and find something more definitive.
Alright. Alright, so... back to this one. Meanwhile, in a previous universe, Granny was going to set the source on fire and doom us all.
And in the stillness, he began to hum. After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind. The only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay. That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother. Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud.
Hum, 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 la, 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 hum, hum. Oh, I'm glad it's not making me do this.
Gran lowered the torch, listening closely. As recognition slowly set in, her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together. She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out. A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note. Luca lifted his head
Oh,
in
it wanted me
astonishment.
to I was waiting for it to finish, and all I had to do was press X.
The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother.
How do you know? I'm so sorry, my little buckaroo. Buckaroo. The only people who call me that were my dad and your mother.
Luca blinked through blurry, watery eyes, trying to see more clearly. He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees.
How would he not recognize his mother?
Something about her was undeniably his mother, only smaller, older, changed.
Mom? That's right, buckaroo. Mom. Huggies.
Luca sprinted as fast as he could toward his mother. They held each other close, and the cold retreated from their bodies.
Eleanor? I thought you were gone. You should have known I would never abandon my
Eleanor
son.
looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness.
How? You're a smart man, Joseph. I thought you'd have pieced it together by now. We're exposed. Mom, I don't understand any of this. What happened to you? Where'd you go? Why did you leave me? Where's my PlayStation? I never left you. I was always right there, Luca. And why did you lie to me? Pull me up, Luca, but I did it to keep you safe. I thought getting answers would help us both move on. But the more I discovered, the more I realized the danger we were in. Until perennial harvest was stopped, it was better if everyone I thought was gone. Or thought I was gone. You could have trusted me. These are bad people, Luca. They won't stop until they get what they want. And they don't care who gets hurt in the process. Then, what do? We have to stop them.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
They can't be stopped. This is too big. I tried beating them at their own game. I'm done fighting fire with fire.
For the first time in a long time, Her voice felt like her own again.
I'm gonna use guns instead. No more lies. I see now there's a better way to stop perennial harvest. With explosives. The cold hard truth
Luca gazed
of
down
explosives.
He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow, as if searching it for answers.
Come everyone, we've got a party to crash. You don't understand. He always wins. I just can never remember what voice I give him.
The devil you know. 7 months ago, Eleanor Van Horn crept down the maze of sterile hallways under perennial harvest. She stopped in front of the large steel door marked Deep Engineering. No turning back now. She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was immediately hit with the smell of disinfectant. It was some sort of laboratory. In one corner was a desk covered in papers. Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base.
Read that as horses.
She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers. They were experiment reports on something called Tempest Liquamen. There were dozens of them, every one stamped failed. Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching. She was out of time. Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod. Muttering a curse under her breath, she dashed over and dove inside.
Look at all the cute little bunnies. Look at them all in the, over on the right. They're so cute. I want to hug them all. And that is what change is all about. I hoped you were still in the hole. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? This man is a liar. Excuse me? I will not. This town has a dangerous secret and perennial harvest only exists to keep it hidden. Nonsense. They picked up the whole town and moved it right under our noses. Are you making any sense, dear?
Mr. Kerr addressed the crowd with a sarcastic tone.
Imagine such a thing. This absurd and just plain impossible. They promised they could fix the foul harvest. They told us they would clean up this place up. We just had to leave town for a few days. But while they had us evacuated, Miss Hartford, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to. You're afraid of a lot of things, aren't you? You sniveling little worm. This is growing tiresome. Little help, please. Don't you see, this festival is a sham. An excuse to have the whole town gather in one place. They're planning something awful. I don't know what, but these people are wicked. Don't listen to her, she has absolutely no proof. I am the proof. I'm Eleanor Van Horn.
Whispers filtered through the crowd.
Well, aren't you just sneaky as the dickens? We all knew Valentine's fertilizer was too good to be true. And now this whole town is paying the price. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry for this disruption. My associates will take this obviously disturbed woman somewhere comfortable, so that she can get the help she needs. He's not the one who disturbed. Who's disturbed? You two-timey clown. You all know there's something wrong with this town. It's just easier to look the other way. The truth is... Thank you all for watching. You're welcome to come see me record these episodes live at twitch.tv/SuperBunnyBun. You can also come say hi on Twitter at SuperBunnyBun. But most importantly, I'd really appreciate it if you could like yourself, comment about how awesome you are, and subscribe to Happy Thoughts. And until next time, stay spicy and huggable. Bye!